Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to discuss magic rituals, how to engage with them, what they are, and how you can create your own, which is what I highly recommend you do. Magic rituals do not exist in a vacuum. All of them, all of the rituals you're familiar with, the most famous of which is, of course, the Abramelin ritual, were created. They're created by people. Now, they may have been created with some divine inspiration. However, they are ultimately the creation of the practitioner. There is tremendous power in creating your own rituals. And in my opinion, as a chaos magician, more power in creating your own rituals than there will ever be in following someone else's. That's not to say that you should never do a ritual that you found in a book or on a YouTube video, even. Totally, you should. This is a way to practice doing rituals, to get good at rituals, and to understand all of the elements to go into a ritual. And that's really what we're going to be getting into today. What are the ingredients that make a magic ritual? What makes it work? What makes it a good ritual versus maybe a not so good ritual? And so on and so forth. So first, let's talk about why we do magic rituals. And this is an area where it seems a lot of chaos magicians kind of get caught up like, oh, what's the point? I can just make a sigil. And you can. That's true. But I'll tell you right now, there is more power, more magic in creating that sigil by candlelight at 3 a.m. than there is if you're doing it at your desk at work. Don't get me wrong. I do that all the time. And back when I had a 9 to 5, I would do magic in my notebook at work all the time. Ritual simply adds another layer to your magic, and sometimes this is a very good thing. Okay, so what makes a good or effective magic ritual? Now, if you don't already have our Science of Spellcasting PDF, you can get that just by signing up for the Order of Chaos newsletter. You'll get it right away, and it explains a lot of this stuff in great depth. I'm not going to go through all of that right now. If you want to get the PDF, it's totally free. All you do is sign up for our newsletter, and you also get special deals, and you get some astrological updates. Cool stuff. It's worth doing. I highly recommend it. The link will be in the description. Psychodrama is laid out in that PDF as one of the key ingredients to effective magic. And psychodrama is really where ritual comes in. Ritual is the art of psychodrama. So, what is psychodrama? Psychodrama is the show. It's drama. It's candles and robes and music and symbolism and all of these things that make magic really feel like magic rather than feeling like a mechanical operation. Human beings love psychodrama. This is why we love music and why we love television, movies, plays, all of this. We adore it. There's a part of our psyche that craves psychodrama. And that's why our entire entertainment industry is built around psychodrama, because it has a deep effect on you. If music ever affects you at a deep emotional level, and of course it does for everyone, that's psychodrama. If a symbol affects you on a deep emotional level, again, this is true for everyone, that's psychodrama. So we're going to take many of these elements and bring them together to create something magical. Okay, so once again, ritual is the art of psychodrama. And psychodrama, we're now going to talk about in these 4 categories. Those categories are symbolism, drama, form, and timing. All right, so let's start with symbolism. Symbolism is central to magic because the subconscious mind is central to magic. The subconscious mind, which exists primarily in your right brain hemisphere, although that's a massive oversimplification, the subconscious mind does not speak language. It does not speak the English language or any other language. It speaks the language of symbolism and feeling and emotion. This is why logos are so important to corporations and companies and restaurants. They want to speak to you at that subconscious level. You could read the word McDonald's and maybe not have an emotional, craving or reaction, but you see those golden arches and you want some French fries. It's the symbol. It bypasses the conscious thinking mind, the left brain hemisphere, and gets right into the subconscious mind. This is crucial because magic happens in the subconscious mind. So, symbolism is very important. So, where is your symbolism going to come from in your magic ritual? Many places. It could come from sigils you create, or sigils, for example, from the Ars Goetia or any other grimoire, or god forms, the simple symbol of Jesus Christ, or Vishnu, or Krishna, or Lucifer, or Poseidon, or Zeus. It doesn't matter, but some god form that represents an archetype that is a symbol that speaks to the subconscious mind. Now, it is crucial that you call upon the appropriate God form for your working. For example, you would not want to call upon the image of Jesus Christ to smite your enemies, just like you wouldn't want to call upon the Egyptian god Set for inner peace and forgiveness. That's not what they do. Jesus Christ is an archetype of love and forgiveness, and Set is a god of jealousy and wrath and war. Okay, so it's important to pick the appropriate archetype. If you're working within a monotheistic tradition, then you really only have one option, and some god forms are meant to be all purpose. So just, think this through and make sure that you're working with the appropriate god form. You can also use correspondences. Correspondences are central to many forms of traditional witchcraft. Correspondences are symbolic associations, and these exist within your psyche, regardless of whether or not you've really spent a lot of time paying attention to them. It's very interesting that some of these archetypal symbols are so universal. So, for example, water and emotion, fire and spirit, earth and body, or the dagger, air, and mind. These are the four correspondences of the suits of the tarot. Of course, there are many others, color associations, herbal correspondences. The list goes on and on. What you want to do are find ones that truly speak to you. So that's symbolism. Your ritual, the magic ritual that you want to create, needs to incorporate some element of symbolism. Again, that can be a sigil you create. It can be a sigil from a grimoire. It can be a god form, or it can be a correspondence. Any of these things, or a mixture of these things. I'm sure there's some I'm leaving out, but hopefully you get the idea. Symbolism is key. You need a symbol that clearly represents either the desired outcome of your magic ritual or the god form that you are asking for help with your magic ritual. Okay, the next element is drama, and this is the one where people struggle the most. Why? Because doing magic, to be good at doing magic, listen to me, listen carefully. A prerequisite to being good at doing magic is that you stop feeling silly about it. Stop it. Stop it. Have fun. Have fun doing magic, and it will work better. I promise you. So, how do we have fun doing magic? With candles and robes and music and drama. That's what makes it good. Get into it, right? Like, make a show of it. There's a real reason for this, and that reason is that, again, the subconscious mind loves that shit. It loves it. When you put on a big show, you are impressing your subconscious mind. You are impressing the gods with whom you are trying to speak, because guess what? The doorway to the spirit realm is through the subconscious mind. So using real drama, again, sounds, robes, lighting, candles, things that you would find on a stage, all of these things greatly contribute to your magic ritual, but we're not going to do them arbitrarily. We're going to pick ones that have more symbolic meaning. The robes, for example, if you have big magical robes to cover your face, this is called veiling. It's creating a mysterious figure of yourself. It is a way for you to blend with the ether, with the void, with the spirit realm, to take the ego out of it. Candles and lighting, particular mood, right? This is all about creating a mood, but creating that mood is vital. It's key to your magic. You can't skip this part. I mean, listen, you can, and your magic might still work, but this will make it work better. You want your magic to work better, right? I certainly do. Okay, so create a dramatic atmosphere. Create drama, create something that makes you feel a certain way. Like, create a scenario in which you feel as though you are a very, very powerful witch or wizard or warlock or what have you. That's the point. You need to feel it. All right, moving on. Form. Form is very important. So, to form your ritual, you want to have three simple components, but you could have many more. And many more complicated rituals have many, many steps. But the three basic steps you must have are an opening, your working, and then a closing. Right? Very simple. Opening, working, closing. So, a way to open your ritual. The point here is to, again, symbolically demonstrate both to yourself and to your environment with whom you're speaking that it's on. Okay. Your opening is saying it's go time. We're doing this. It's on like Donkey Kong. Here we go. That's very important. It keys in to your psyche that this is happening now. And that's very important. So you've got your opening. Here's some examples of openings: simply lighting candles, turning on the music, cleansing your space. You could hit a gong or a bell, anything that symbolizes the opening of your ritual. And this could be as simple or as complex as you want. It could be the ringing of a bell, or it could be a 10-minute sermon. Either is fine. I'm simple. I like the bell, or lighting of incense or the candles, turning down the lights, getting the music going. That's all it takes for me. Okay, your actual working. The actual working is the stage in which you need to enter an altered state of consciousness. There are three particular states of consciousness that are useful for magic, and it depends on what kind of magic you're doing. Those states are theta, alpha, and gamma. Your normal waking brainwave state is beta, and when you're sleeping, that's delta. So we have these three others that are unusual states of consciousness, which you can get into using various methods like binaural beats or sound technology, meditation, trance. Simply the creating of a sigil actually really does it for me. You just want to find that altered state. Gamma is particularly good for manifestation. Theta is particularly good for self-hypnosis. And alpha is the creative state. All three of these have magical effects. This is something you want to experiment with and just have fun with. Okay. Try out different things. Again, alpha is the creative state. Theta is the hypnogenic state. And gamma is super consciousness. This is one that's really good for manifestation. So during your working could consist of creating a sigil. Or maybe you created the sigil ahead of time, and the working is releasing the sigil or burning it on an altar or burying it under the full moon or whatever it is that you choose to do. It's going to be symbolic, and it's going to be the actual act that activates your magic. All right. And that's up to you. You decide what act activates your magic. This is up to you. You get to do what you want here. All right. And then finally, we have closing the ritual. Closing the ritual, very simple, the opposite of opening the ritual. Snuff out the candles, blow out the candles. I know. How dare I? But it's fine. When I blow out my candles, what I do is I blow them out. Simultaneously, I say thank you. And I'm thanking my deities. I'm thanking the candles. I'm thanking the universe. There's nothing wrong with blowing out your candles. That is such a silly superstition. So blow out your candles, snuff out your candles, whatever you're going to do. You can turn the music down, turn the lights back on, right? That's closing the ritual. Saying thank you, I think, is incredibly important, though. That element is really, really important because it is a way of closing out, ending, saying thank you, we're done. And also expresses gratitude, and gratitude is incredibly important to manifestation magic in particular. If you are not grateful for what you already have, why would the universe give you more? You kind of got to think of the universe or your patron deity or matron deity, or your spirit guides, your ancestors, whoever it is that you are petitioning for your magical working. Think of them kind of like parents in a way, and be sure to say thank you. They appreciate it. Gratitude is very important to magic. So again, very, very simple, right? Use your imagination, get creative. Creativity, I want to say, is such an important part of all of this. Again, I am of the belief that when you create your own magic rituals that are really specific to you and your personality type and your aesthetic, they always work better than just following someone else's. Following other people's rituals, however, is a great way to get started and get comfortable in doing magic rituals. This is about creating your own. This is a little more advanced. All right. So if you've never done any magic rituals, I highly recommend you start out by following some examples just to get the feel for it, and then get creative and start making your own. Okay. And the final element that we're going to talk about in terms of creating your own magic rituals is timing. Timing is very important to magic. There are 3 levels of timing that I'm going to talk about today, though there are many, many, many more layers and levels of magical timing. These are the 3 that I think are most crucial. Number 1, you must do your magic in time for it to work. If you are attempting to manifest something that takes time to manifest in the physical world, you need to make sure that you have that time. This is completely dependent upon the situation. How much time is realistically needed for this to happen? Okay, that's the first element. The next is the moon. Not everyone is super into astrology, but anybody can understand the moon cycles and their importance to witchcraft. The moon is symbolic of the subconscious mind. Yeah. So it's important to understand the moon cycles. I like to do my magic on a full moon. I'm a full moon magic kind of guy. I love to do rituals on the full moon. It's great if you can find a working that goes along with the sign that the full moon is in. So if I'm wanting to do some kind of manifestation magic, or to bring more like love and abundance into my life, that full moon in Leo is what I'm aiming for. Also, because I am a Leo, it's going to have, some extra power there for me personally. Because there's only, so many full moons per year, you can't always do this. You can't always find the right moon with the right sign at the right time, but you do have a full and a new moon every month. The new moon is a great time to set intentions and allow it to come to fruition with the waxing of the moon. If you want something to banish, if you want something to go away, do it on the waning phase. Right? Makes sense? Very easy. Very, very simple to use the moon to time your magic in a way that adds yet another layer of symbolism. And this really, really works. So I highly recommend using it. The next recommendation I have, I'm just stealing this. I'm just taking it away from my friend Ivy, who pointed this out in one of her most recent videos. And then I started doing it and thought, okay, this is really cool and it really works. And that is using planetary timing. So every day you have planetary hours, you also have planetary days. Understanding your planetary days and hours actually gives you a lot more opportunity to pinpoint a time than the moon does. Add to your magical workings, and especially to that sense of psychodrama, which is really what this is all about. Okay? Astrology is real as fuck, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Certainly not all chaos magicians agree, but I highly recommend you try incorporating planetary timing into your workings. So that's it. Those are the elements that create a magic ritual. And you can now take these ideas and formulate an entire ritual that is completely custom to you and to your aesthetic and to what you're into. And I think that that's so very powerful. The goal is to make the strongest impression you possibly can on your subconscious mind. I hope that over the course of this video, I have really drilled that into you. Make that impression upon the subconscious mind, and it will have powerful effects on your reality. Now, if you are looking for magic rituals that you can start doing right now that you don't create, you want to do some follow-along rituals, my Dark Arts Ritual Pack is on sale for the entire month of October for half off. That means it's only $99. That means it's $10 per ritual. You get 10 pre-written rituals done by me. These are rituals that I actually use and I created, along with videos. Some of them have music. It's got everything you need to perform the ritual. Sometimes you'll have to go out and buy candles. There's some things you'll have to get in order to perform these, but it's got clearly written instructions along with either music or video or both. They're very cool. They're very effective. A lot of my students have had a lot of success with them. I'm very proud of this program. So if you're interested, you can get Dark Arts for half off. Link will be in the description. All right, that's it. I'm done. Go forth, create chaos, have a good time, do magic, and I will catch you in the next one.